Hi, guys, and welcome to the Horror Room. So, this Sunday, I have a very special video to present to you guys. You might have saw the title and been a little confused. Freebay? What? What's going on? Well, I've been debating before I made this video whether or not I wanted to tell you guys my secrets. Um, I figured I would half tell you and half not tell you. You're probably like, whoa, 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 what's going on? Um, so I'm not going to tell you how I did this, but I am going to tell you that Speedway is a great source for getting free shit. You might be like, what? Um, yeah, I can get a free drink or like a taquito. What about it? Well, if you save enough points, you can redeem them for bigger stuff like a gas card or a PlayStation card or I don't know, an eBay card. Now, I will say my original plan was to get a vanilla Visa card, but they took those off. Um, but yeah, look into it. If you don't have the Speedway app, you can download it and you start saving them points. What I do is I do the double fuel points. So anytime you fill up your car, now if you have a job where you drive a lot or you just spend a bunch of fucking money at the gas station and energy drinks, Starbucks, um, you can rack up a lot of points in a reasonable amount of time. You do have to have some patience. And that's what I did. I said, you know what? I'm tired of the free drinks, all this crap. I said, I want to get some free horror movies. And right now I'm struggling with my horror movie addiction because I can't get my fix, man. Um, so yeah, I got $100 free eBay gift cards and used them to get some stuff. Now, when I had this money, the weeks building up to it, I was adding stuff to my watch list on eBay, and I was like, I could just buy a bunch of stuff. I could buy like a couple really hard to find things. One of my original ideas was I'm gonna buy a bunch of trauma movies that I don't have, because trauma movies are generally like $10 to $20 each. There was also some laser discs I was eyeballing. At one point, I thought, hey, forget getting a bunch of stuff. I'm going to get a gigantic Jason figure that I don't have, but I still would have had to pay out of pocket, so I scrapped that idea. Um, so I said, you know what? I'm going to mix it up. I want to get a little bit of everything. I originally was going to buy a laser disc, but I said, you know what? I can wait on that because I got a mixture of like some DVDs or a DVD, a Blu-ray, and some VHS. Mainly VHS, of course, because they look so great. And there was a lot that I didn't have that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna grab these. But first off, I did go over my $100. I just paid for a little bit out of pocket because I had to get this. I read it in Fangoria button. Let's see if you can see it. It's got Farmer Vincent from Motel Hell. And the person who sent me that was nice enough to send me some Fangoria stickers. So I got one sitting on my TV right now, and I'm going to probably stick this in a random Blu-ray or case. So maybe one day I'll open it and go, oh, yeah, there's a Fangoria sticker in here. Now, let me sort these. Okay, at least for these. We're going to start with the VHS, end with the DVDs and the Blu-ray. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm going to do it backwards today. We're going to start with the DVD, actually. Now, like I said, I didn't want to get a bunch of trauma movies, but I am trying to work my way up and get more of the ones that I'm missing. There's so many that I don't have that I'm like, how do I not have this? And one of those movies that I didn't have was Tromeo and Juliet. And this is the theatrical release, which is surprising that it came out, in theaters. Um, I'm sure there's an unrated version of this, probably. Um, but the one reason I wanted to get this is because the screenplay was written by Mr. James Gunn. Um, yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see his writing on display, especially in a trauma movie, um, and a Tromeo and Juliet. Me and my girlfriend, for the longest time, we watched a couple different versions of Romeo and Juliet. Like there's the '90s one with DiCaprio, and then there's like the shitty animated one with seals. That's not horror related, but now we have another Romeo and Juliet to watch, and this one's going to be hilarious and offensive and crazy. because it's trauma, and who doesn't love trauma? Um, so there's the least horror thing I got, I guess. Next, we have a movie that I've been kind of on the fence about getting for the longest time for whatever reason, and I'm excited to watch it finally because I've never seen it. Um, and I was like, you know what? It sounds great, so I need to just bite the bullet and get The Brain. And it's got the doctor, uh, David Gale from Reanimator, the guy who gets his head cut off, and he's in the little petri dish, and the lady's on the table, and he go. Yeah, you know if you know, you know. But The Brain, I've heard this is a really fun, cheesy movie, and I've never seen it. The last time I watched a movie like that, it was oh shit, what's the one with the talking brain that Elmer Brain? It's Brain something. I swear, I can't even see it. But if you know what I'm talking about, leave it the comment down below. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's like the guy's brain damage. There we go. Gosh, I don't know why that was like on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, Brain Damage was amazing, and I was like, holy crap. So I was like, you know what? I need to get another Brain movie, and this is one that I hear good things about, and it's an 80s movie, so why not? And last but not least, we have VHS. Of course, I got more of that than anything. There were some that I didn't have, but I actually had these movies. But every single one of these, every single movie I bought was a movie that I didn't have. And that's kind of what I wanted to go for first off, because I was like, you know, I could get Halloween 3 on VHS for like $30, but there's a third of my money, and I technically already own it. I don't need it. But I do need Skinner, starring Ted Raimi and Tracy Lords and Ricky Lake. Oh my gosh. This looks like it's got to be more of a shitty thriller than anything, but it's got Ted Raimi. That's Sam Raimi's brother, Evil Dead. He infamously plays Henrietta. Give Henrietta a kiss. I don't know. But I've never seen that movie. It looks pretty entertaining. It's gonna be fun. Next, I got another horror. Not an anthology. It's like the Boogeyman and Terror in the Isles. It's like a compilation. There we go. This one's called Fear in the Dark, a spine-chilling study of the history of the horror film. Whoa. It says, turn out the lights, alone in the dark, or with someone you trust. Relive the spine-tingling terror of horror movie greats through the eyes of their creators. John Carpenter, Wes Craven, Clive Barker, William Friedkin, Robert Bloch, and other famous movie makers explore the murky psychological roots and macabre techniques of terror in their work as your deepest, darkest fears resurface in clips from Silence of the Lambs, Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Night of the Living Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Dracula, Nosferatu, and many more. Oh, yeah. So this is like the original Boogeyman, basically. And I'm very curious to see what clips they choose to highlight. It's only 60 minutes long, too, so they're going to be like boom, boom, boom. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting watch. I've been building up a collection of movies like this for a while. Like I got the Weekend of Horrors Fangoria VHS, and I actually watched that in October, and it was pretty fun. So I had a lot of fun with that. Next off, we have a movie that I saw once, and I was like, why haven't I seen this? And why don't I own this? Probably because it's an older movie, and I usually, when it comes to George Romero, mainly I'm all about the zombies, but I've kind of branched out into some of his other films. I kind of want to watch Season of the Witch. I don't know if that's any good. Let me know down below if you've seen George Romero's Season of the Witch. And I've also heard good things about The Amusement, even though, or Amusement Park, the one about the elderly people. I've heard that's kind of an existential terror movie, so that could be fun. But this is one of his classics. I think he made this slightly after Night of the Living Dead. Yeah, from A New Nightmare from the director of Night of the Living Dead. I think this was before The Crazies, though. And that is Martin. This is about a young boy who believes he's a vampire, and his uncle like, yeah, yeah. His uncle's like, oh wait, no, his uncle actually is the one who thinks he's a vampire, but Martin's just like creepy and crazy. He's like drugging people, and it's been a while since I've seen this, but this is such a good movie. Like I watched it and I was so blown away. Especially the part in the house where he's running through the house to the different doors to like drug these two people. It's wild. It's crazy. Um, and last but not least, I don't think I have this at all. I could be wrong. It could be on one of my special editions, but I've watched bits and pieces of this. One day I'm going to sit down and watch the whole thing. Uh, and this was originally $5. I paid a little more because these were actually together on the eBay lot that I bought them. They were $30, so 15 each. That's not a bad uh, upscale for a VHS, especially horror. Um, this is the George Romero Document of the Dead. This is the behind the scenes of one of his most celebrated movies, Dawn of the Dead. It's got footage of the Monroeville Mall. It's got like them getting the zombie extras ready. Tom Savini. I don't think. I'm trying to remember who's behind the European release. I believe it was Diodato. I think. I don't think he's in this. I could be wrong, um, but the director of this is Roy Frumkes. I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, it's basically a behind the scenes for one of the best films ever made. So yeah, there's merit to that. Let's see how long it is. 76 minutes. It's not too terribly long. Now I will say I did check the tapes themselves. This one's got a giant sticker, so it's hard to. But thankfully they didn't rewind it. Thanks. Um, they're not moldy. This one looks a little dusty, so I might open it up and like get some of the dust off of it. But I'm sure they play just fine. Knock on wood. Um, so yeah, I got this whole stack of horror plus this button for free on Freebay. And now I'm broken. I can't do it again. So I gotta wait like 6 more months, probably. Maybe 8. But, yeah. So I've been wanting to make this video for a while. This was fun, to say the least. And I'm definitely going to do it again. So if you see Freebay Part 2, you'll know what it is. I've got some more ideas cooking. I've got a couple more reviews planned. I gotta wait for certain things to happen before I can do those reviews. Um, but yeah, I've got a little bit of ideas coming down the pipeline, especially for the new year. Um, Probably do a couple more movie reviews here and there, but I was also thinking of going through some of my comics and my Horror Hound and Fangoria issues, Rue Morgue, talking about maybe some of the articles in there or like how they perceived certain movies coming out, but we'll see how that goes. But for right now, I just wanted to share this amazing haul because, you know, anytime you get horror movies, especially for free, uh, consider yourself lucky, especially in this day and age. So you can do it too. You just have to be really patient. Yeah, Freebay. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week.